What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to do what the title says and predict the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles record. And starting off their season, they will actually be playing the first game of the season against the Dallas Cowboys. And it'll be on Thursday Night Football, obviously. It's going to be at home. I do think this is going to be a closer game than people think. Could definitely see the Cowboys winning, but I do think the Eagles are a better run organization. They have a better head coach, better quarterback, better roster, so they should win this game and cruise to 1-0. And heading to week 2, it'll be a rematch of last year's Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Chiefs. And I definitely think the Chiefs are going to take a bit of a backseat this year. And the Eagles should still be relatively decent, at least, relative to where they were last year. And I'm going to say the Eagles win this game too, just because they have the mini bye week. And I honestly think they're a more complete team than the Chiefs are. So Eagles win this one and go to 2-0. All right, heading to week 3, the Eagles will be back at home taking on the Los Angeles Rams. And this is a rematch of the NFC divisional round, or at least one of the two. And it was a pretty good game. It was a game where the Rams actually almost beat the Eagles. The only team in the playoffs that gave the Eagles a chance, gave the Eagles a real fight. And I'm going to say that the Eagles are going to remember that and make sure that they don't let it get that close again. I think they're going to win this game with relative ease and go to 3-0. All right, and heading to week 4, the Eagles will be on the road taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers are actually one of the few teams to beat the Eagles last year. So I could see this game being a tough one for the Eagles, but I'm still going to go with the Eagles. I think the roster's way too talented to lose to the Bucs. Not that the Bucs are bad, but I just think the Eagles roster's better. So I'm going to say they win this game and go to 4-0. All right, heading to week number 5, the Eagles will be back at home taking on the Denver Broncos. And I'm a Broncos fan, if you couldn't tell by the profile picture, but I definitely think this is going to be a rough matchup for the Broncos. I think the Eagles should win this game pretty easily. I think they're just a better team overall. The only thing we might have on them is defense. But, defense isn't the whole story. They have a way better offense, and their defense isn't bad either. So the Eagles, I think, are going to win this game and improve to 5-0. All right, heading to week number 6, the Eagles will be on the road taking on the New York Giants for the first time on Thursday Night Football. And the Eagles have honestly owned the Giants for the last few years. So a lot of people are probably going to pick the Eagles to win this game, but I have a hunch. I think the Eagles are going to get too cocky and lose a game like this just because they're on a 5-game winning streak. They just won the Super Bowl. They haven't lost a game since, I think, I don't even know. Back last year, the last time they lost a game was in December, and that was with Jalen Hurts being injured. So this is going to be a bit of a reality check for him. I have him losing this game and going to 5-1. All right, heading to week 7, the Eagles will be on the road again, taking on the Minnesota Vikings, coming off that mini bye week from Thursday Night Football. The Vikings, I think they're a decent team, but they do have a really young quarterback in J.J. McCarthy, so I think they will struggle against a team like the Eagles. Also, I don't think the Eagles are going to lose this game after losing last week to the Giants. So I think the Eagles will win this game and improve to 6-1. All right, heading to week 8, the Eagles will be at home taking on the Giants for the second time this season. And this time, there will be no upset here. I think the Eagles are going to make sure that they don't get swept by the Giants and take care of business here and improve their record to 7-1. And week number 9 is their bye week. They're sitting at 7-1. The bottom line is this team can win any game. They are so unbelievably good. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the Super Bowl. But yeah, next game, they'll be coming off the bye week. They'll be on the road against the Green Bay Packers, another rematch. They played in week 1 last year and the NFC wildcard round, in the playoffs last year. And I don't think the Eagles are going to lose a game coming off their bye week. I think they should win this game. I wouldn't say easily because the Packers are a good team, but I don't think the Eagles will struggle too much. I have them winning this game and going to 8-1. All right, heading to week 11, the Eagles will be on Sunday Night Football at home against the Detroit Lions. And this is going to be one of the best games of the season. And I think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. Both of these offenses are so unbelievably good. And the Lions, I know they have some questions because they're losing Ben Johnson to the Chicago Bears, but I personally don't think that's going to be that big of a deal for them. And I'm actually going to say the Eagles lose this game. I think the Lions, I think this is going to be a year where I don't necessarily think they'll go 15-2 again, but I definitely think they're going to still be a juggernaut like they were last year. And I think this is one of the few teams that could honestly beat the Eagles. So Eagles are going to lose this game and go down to 8-2. All right, heading to week 12, the Eagles will be on the road taking on the Cowboys for the second time this season. And this time, I think the Eagles should also win this game. I think the Cowboys could put up a fight because Dak Prescott always lights up the Eagles whenever it's the Cowboys at home against the Eagles, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Eagles are still going to win this game just because of how stacked their roster is, and they're going to improve their record to 9-2. All right, heading to week number 13, the Eagles will be at home against the Chicago Bears. This will be on Black Friday at 3 p.m. And this game, the Eagles, in theory, should win this game pretty easily. But I'm actually going to say that they get upset here. I'm going to say the Bears get a shocking victory and beat the Eagles and basically shock the world because I really don't think anyone's going to expect this. But no one is safe from trap games, not even the Eagles. So I think this will be an example of that, and the Eagles will drop down to 9-3. All right, heading to week 14, the Eagles will be on the road taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. And this actually acts as another mini bye week because they played on Friday and they're playing on next week's Monday Night Football. So it's a 10-day span if it was kind of like from Thursday Night Football to Sunday. So I think the Eagles should win this game. After a trap game, usually teams are a lot more ready to play, and I think they'll take care of the Chargers and improve their record to 10-3. All right, heading to week 15, the Eagles will be at home taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And yeah, let's just be real. The Eagles are easily going to win this game. I think they've dropped enough trap games considering who the Eagles are as a team. I don't think they're going to get another trap game. I don't think they're going to get trapped again. I think they'll take care of the Raiders, and it'll be a pretty boring game because the Eagles usually take care of the bad teams. So Eagles are going to win and go to 11-3. All right, heading to week 16, the Eagles will be at home they'll be on the road taking on the Washington Commanders for the first time. And I actually think the Eagles are going to lose this game. I think the Commanders, if you watch my video, you kind of know what their record is. But I think that the Commanders are going to play pissed off and beat the Eagles. And the Eagles are going to drop to 11-4. All right, heading to week 17, the Eagles will be on the road taking on the Buffalo Bills. And this could be a Super Bowl preview. Both of these teams are two teams that could beat anybody in the league. They're the two of the most complete rosters that you'll ever see. They both have top 5 quarterbacks. And I think that it could go either way, but I'm going to go with the Bills just because I trust Josh Allen more than Jalen Hurts. And also, the Bills are at home. And I'm going to say the Eagles drop this game and go down to 11-5. And ending the Eagles season, they will be at home taking on the Washington Commanders. And I think this could be a potential fight for the 1 seed, depending on how things shake out in the NFC North. And I think the Eagles will win this game. I really don't think they're going to get swept by the Commanders. And I think they'll take care of them and end with a final record of 12-5. And there you have it, 12 and their final record. And honestly, they could be the 1 seed. I mean, so far, right now, they are the 1 seed because I haven't predicted the NFC North yet. And to tell you the truth, the only real threat in that division to take the 1 seed is the Eagles. Not the Eagles, the Lions. Because if the Lions can win 12 games, they would get it over the Eagles because they beat the Eagles. And I really don't think that the Vikings are going to win 12 games. The Packers would have to win 13 games because they have tiebreaker over them. And I also really don't think the Bears are going to win 12 games either. So I think the Eagles, they could get the 1 seed. And honestly, if they can just not get in their own way, I think they could repeat. Their team is so unbelievably good. Like, usually when teams win the Super Bowl, their roster gets a little worse because, teams are trying to take players away from that team. But honestly, they're still a really stacked team. And I guess the one thing going against them is now they've got a big target on their back. And we'll see how they respond to that. And this is still going to be an unbelievable team. And I think they'll definitely go far in the playoffs. Assuming that no one first rounds them or anything in the divisional round or something. If they end up being the 1 seed. Yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I'll quit rambling and let y'all get on with your day. And if you're still watching, I appreciate you for watching. And I will see y'all tomorrow for a New York Giants prediction video. And I hope you choose to watch that. And until then, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.